Dear students, I welcome you all for today's lecture. Wish you all the best of the time, whichever time you are watching this lecture. Now, today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is construction, one of the very scoring chapters. And of course, for starting construction, before starting the actual chapter, actual exercise, I will try to first teach you some of the basics of the construction. See, when it comes to construction, the first basic that you have to know is drawing perpendiculars. Drawing perpendiculars. See, these perpendiculars, when we draw perpendiculars, there are again not less than 3 types of perpendiculars which will be required to draw as the diagram demands you to draw. See, when perpendicular is drawn, definitely a line is there. Line is supposed to be there. A segment is supposed to be there. The segment can be a side of a triangle, can be a diameter of a circle, can be any segment. And a perpendicular is supposed to be connected to that segment. But now when you are drawing in construction, the perpendiculars there are from point outside the segment to the segment. Okay, a segment will be there and a point will be there anywhere outside the segment, and you have to draw a perpendicular from that point to the segment or to the point on the segment. Okay, a segment is there and a point is there on the segment, and you have to draw perpendicular at that point, or a straight perpendicular bisector. Simple. A segment is there and you have to draw a perpendicular which will bisect the, means which will be perpendicular at the midpoint of the segment. So these are the 3. None of these basics are ignorable. You can't ignore anyone. They are all very important. So now let us consider the one example where actually speaking we have got, see, first one I am trying to explain you. See, the segment can be of any inclination. Any inclination, it can be in any way. It can be side of a triangle, it can be a diameter of a circle, it can be a chord, it can be a tangent, it can be anything. See, this is the inclined segment, and there can be a point, anywhere a point is there, which is as per I am doing outside the segment. There is a point outside the segment, and from this point you require to draw a perpendicular to this segment. See, my dear student, now I am trying to explain you both the things at a time. Supposing there is another segment, another condition where actually the point is on the segment and you have to draw a perpendicular at this point on the segment. My dear students, whether the point is outside the segment or the point is on the segment, when you are drawing a diagram, conditions are such that point is outside the segment or point is on the segment. It can be anything. In both the cases, the steps are going to be same. First, you will take the divider, the compass, and keep the divider on the point. Whether the point is on the segment, outside the segment, or on the segment, first keep the divider on the point, wherever the point is, and make 2 arcs on the segment. This is going to be out of the here I check this, I can make it short. Here it can make, here it can make. There can be 2 arcs possible. So here I have made 1 arc and here I have made the second arc. Like this I will make 2 arcs. Fine. Whether now I can change this compass. Once this is made, now I can change this compass. See, whether the point is on the segment or it is outside the segment, first I will keep the divider on the point and make 2 arcs on the segment. Now try to understand. Now this is my new segment. Though this is my original segment, once I make the two arcs, this you can consider as your new segment. Now you will keep your divider on one arc. This is already there, so you can make arc on the, now you can change this if you want, you can change this. It has to be more than half of this segment. This divider, this compass should be opened more than half of this segment. It can be anything when it comes to more than half. More than half, it can be anything. It can be this big also. As per your requirement and necessity, you should bring it anywhere more than half. Now I'll make an arc over here, and then I'll change this to other end of the segment. Keep the divider over there. No, this has gone out of range. I'll have to go back. Now I should not change this. Remember, I should not change this. I will have to intersect them properly. Now this is my perpendicular. If I connect this intersecting arc to this point, then it will be a perpendicular to this segment, like this. So now, as per the requirement, I have drawn a perpendicular from this point outside the segment to the segment. Now the another condition is where the point is on the segment. When the point is on the segment, still what you will do, as I told you, keep the divider on the point and make two arcs on the segment. One arc will be on the one side and the other arc will be on the other side. Means what? Again the same thing. I have discovered or formed a new segment. My original segment is this, but now this part of the segment is my new segment. Now I will keep the divider. Now I will have to change this definitely, because this is exactly half. I need to have it more than half, so I will have to increase it. So now again what I will do, make an arc over here. Now I should not change. Now if you want, you can even make one more down also, if you want, or if you don't want, nothing like that. And similarly over here, you will make an arc over here, intersect these two arcs. This time when you are intersecting the arcs, you are not supposed to change the length of the compass. It has to be same. Now if you will connect these three, the three will be in one line. They have to be in one line. If they are not, then your construction is going wrong. Now this is the perpendicular going through this point, which is the point on the segment. Fine, my dear students. See, I request you all people kindly, and then of course this labeling, try to understand the labeling. Always this 90 degree should be shown, and once you have finished, the arrowheads, draw beautiful tiny arrowheads. Tiny arrowheads really enhance the beauty of your diagram. Don't draw huge arrowheads. Labeling of the diagram is very important. I will come to that part again, but of course this labeling you should understand. So these are two types of perpendiculars that I have shown you. I request you all students that you kindly draw a number of perpendiculars like this, at least 5 perpendiculars of one type. Master yourself and try to understand when you are drawing the perpendiculars, at that time what is the situation. Like this, you should take any one segment as per your wish and take a point. Sometimes you take it very far and make a perpendicular from here. Sometimes you take it very close and make a perpendicular from here, draw a perpendicular from here. Okay, sometimes you take it on the segment at one end, sometimes take it very much in the mid-range. Okay, try drawing these perpendiculars, 5 perpendiculars, and see whether you are, with the help of protractor, the D that you have got, you can check whether your perpendicular is right. Is it coming 90 degree or not? You can check it. Yes, it is 90 degree, pakka. Okay, so likewise you practice this first. It will hardly take, these all basics that I am showing you will hardly take, very less time it will take, hardly 10 minutes, more than sufficient for these 3 perpendiculars. Okay, and now when we have to draw a perpendicular bisector, see, I am not trying to save page, I am just trying to show, because when you are drawing this construction, at that time you are very much in the condition where there are lots of figures over there. Don't worry. So this is, now I am trying to show you, draw a perpendicular bisector. So these two I have finished. Now I am going to perpendicular bisector. For perpendicular bisector, my dear students, it is very much easy. When we had a whole segment, we made this segment, and then whatever the procedure of this perpendicular is there is the procedure for drawing perpendicular bisector. When we drew this segment, and after that what we did, we kept the divider on one end of the segment, drew two arcs up and down, then kept the divider on the other end of the segment and drew intersecting arcs up and down. That's what we have to do. Where for drawing perpendicular bisector, the given segment is the segment. You don't have to discover any new segment. You just have to keep the divider on one end of the segment, take it more than half anywhere, and then draw these intersecting arcs. Please see to it that you don't change your compass. Try to keep it throughout these intersecting arcs. And now this I have missed, so I'll have to go back over there. You should not change this. They should intersect with that same measurement. And now I will connect these two intersecting arcs. I'll connect these two intersecting arcs. That's all. So this is my perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular, this is the mark of perpendicular bisector. You will have to make two identical marks on both the sides. This will show that it is a perpendicular bisector. Okay. So this is one basics perpendicular, drawing perpendiculars. I tell you all people, all students, my dear students, kindly draw minimum 5 diagrams of this sort. See whether now see when you are drawing this perpendicular bisector, check whether you are, see this I had taken 7 centimeters if I remember. Yes, I had taken 7 centimeter segment, and see it is exactly come at 3.5. Check, counter check whether you are getting the same figure, whether you are getting a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector, the property of perpendicular bisector is that it should be perpendicular to the segment and it should bisect the segment. Bisect means cut into two equal parts. So in this way, get this skill, acquire this skill. Okay, so this is one topic that is very much required for drawing perpendiculars. And then we have another topic is angles. When it comes to angles, you will have to copy the angle from one point to the other point. There are two basics over here. First is actually, I'll take the easier one, angle bisector. I'll take the easier one. Copy the angle is the second one. Copy angles, of course, none of the topic is, you have to take it lightly. You can't take any topic lightly. Everything is very, very, very important. And once you have mastered this and you understand that how you are going to apply this in your construction program diagrams, then you will be able to solve it, draw the constructions. Okay, so angle bisector. So now what am I going to do is that take any one angle as per your will and wish. As per your will and wish, take any angle. This you can, if you want, you can take according to your will and wish. Means actually, okay, at present I have taken it like that. So now I have to bisect this angle. I have to bisect this angle. Now angle, when you bisect, so try to understand first of all, angle has what features with it. What are the parts of body of angle? Angle has one arm, two arm. Okay, one arm, two arm. Two arms, angle has two arms. And it has a vertex. Okay, this is a vertex of the angle. One arm, second arm. Okay, so what I will do first is that I will keep the compass on the vertex of the suitable measurement, and I will make, means one arc on one arm, and without changing the measurement of the compass, I will make second arc on the second arm. One arc on one arm, one arc on second arm. Now you are free to move this measurement again if you want. You can bring it closer. Now you have to keep the divider on one arc and make arc anywhere exactly in middle of the angle. Without changing this compass now, I will have to keep the divider on the other arc and cut the arc which is made in the middle of the angle. Now you connect this vertex to these intersecting arcs and extend it. That will be the angle bisector. Okay. So now what I will do is that I will connect this vertex to the intersecting arcs. This is my angle bisector. Now what you can do is that, see, angle bisector, the labeling is always somewhat of this sort. Some identical labeling also you have to do. That will be the indication that it is an angle bisector. So what you will do over here is that actually I will measure the original angle. This is now because it was taken arbitrarily, so it is definitely coming something different, different value. But what is that value? 41, 42, approximately 42, and half of 42 will be 21. So you can see it is 21 over here. Okay, so the measurement is coming 21 degrees. That means this angle, this is 21 degrees and this is 21 degrees. That means this angle is, this ray is actually acting as a angle bisector for this angle. This is how an angle bisector is supposed to be drawn. Here also you will do the same thing, my dear students. At least solve not less than 5 examples. What you can do is that you can actually, to make just easier for you all to counter check your answers or your construction, what you should do, take the angles of your desired according to your comfortability, convenience. Like supposing I take 50 degrees. I take 50 degrees, okay. Now this 50 degree angle I have taken. Fine. And now bisect this angle. See to it that the angle bisector is exactly at what? Half of 50, 25 degrees. So again the same thing. First I will keep the divider on the vertex, make one arc on one arm, other arc on other arm, without changing the compass. Now I can change the compass, and then I will keep the divider on one arm, make arc in the middle of the angle. Now keep the divider on the other arc without changing the compass and intersect the arcs. Connect this vertex to the intersecting point. This is your angle bisector. Okay, my dear students. So counter check the answer. You have taken 50 degrees. This should be approximately, not approximately, exactly 25 degrees. This is slightly missing. It is come 29 degrees, my dear students. So 1 degree wrong. So that is what the procedure is, but definitely you have to label it. Labeling, you can do any labeling which are identicals. Okay, this will show that it is an angle bisector. Now second one is actually now this copy angles. This is very important again. Everything is important. This is again a very important way. What you have to do is that an angle is there with you. This is an angle. I'll again take some convenience. I'll take an angle, convenient angle. Supposing this is 40 degree, I am taking an angle of 40 degree. Fine. Okay, this is my convenient angle. Fine. Now I have taken it according to my convenience, but when you are having a figure, that figure can have any angle over there. I have to copy this angle to some other place. I don't know where I will be required to copy that angle. But supposing I have to copy it on this segment. I have got one more segment. I have to copy over here. I have to copy at this point. I can copy it on this point. I may copy it in the middle. I may copy it anywhere. Wherever I go to copy it. See, again I repeat. When I have to copy this angle over here, first what I will do, base arm and the terminal arm. I will choose it in any my own way. If this is the base arm, this is the terminal arm. So this here, this is my base arm. I only need a terminal arm to come. And I should know where I have to copy. At this point, it can go up. This point, or it can go down. Where I am required to copy it, I have to decide it. I can copy it here also 40 degree. I can copy it here also 40 degree. I can copy here 40 degree. I can copy here 40 degree. Here 40 degree. Here 40 degree. In any way, I will have to see my diagram. What is my diagram demanding me? So supposing I have to copy this over here, in this fashion it has to go. Then what I will do, this is my base arm, this is my vertex, and this is my base arm. This is my vertex, this is my base arm. This is my vertex, this is my base arm. I will keep the divider on the vertex and make two arcs. Again, one arc, one arm, one arc, second arm. Now I will have to copy this. Without changing this, I'll keep my, I have decided this is going to be a vertex because I'm copying it over here. This is made on the base, and I will make this, because I have to copy it down, I will make an arc over here to copy the terminal arc. Okay, are you getting what I'm doing? Now what I will have to do, I will have to measure the distance between these two arcs. For that I will keep the divider on one arc and then measure this distance with the compass. Fine. This is the distance I have measured with the compass. Okay. Now I should not change this. I will keep it on the base arm and cut the terminal arc. This is the angle copied. I will have to connect this vertex to this intersecting arcs like this. So this is the way I have copied it. Now this should be 40 degree. This is 40 degree. I have taken it 40 degree, and this also should be 40 degrees. So if I keep it like this, where are you, my dear? Oh, very wrong. Very sorry for this, my dear student. This is crossed 43 degrees. This is very wrong figure. This should not happen. Very wrong figure. Pencil. Actually, maybe this ball pens are giving some problems, because ball pen ink is, black ink is very nicely visible. One more. That's why I'm using ball pen, but then that was too much of a difference. 1 degree still understandable. This is 40 degree exact. So I'll give it one more try. This is my this will not be visible. You see, dark. See now, this I'll have to keep it on the divider and make an arc over here, make an arc over here. I hope this arc is somewhat visible, and this is darker, it should be visible. And then I'll keep the divider on this vertex, cut, make one arc on the base arm, and then make one arm over here. Now I will measure the distance between the two arcs. So I'll keep the divider on this arc and then change this to measure the distance. This is supposedly the now. That is the reason. Okay. Now I will have to change this orientation. Keep the divider on this arc and cut this. So now I will have to connect this vertex to this. So now if I measure this, yes, now it is still 40.25. Okay, still 40.1, it is 40.1, still 1 degree difference is there. Okay, but this is the way you have to copy it. And now when you label it, what you will have to do is you will have to label this as 1 and label this also same. See, in this way you will be copying whatever you require. Sometimes, see, try to understand, my dear students, sometimes you have to copy this angle over here at the next point, at the immediate next point. Sometimes you have to copy this angle at the immediate this next point. Why? I will tell you why. But first I will copy this. See, I have to copy this over here at this point. Same segment, I have to copy it over there. So again I will make, this will be too much. Fine, it should be. This is arc, this is second arc. Now I will come over here, make one arc over here, makes one arc over here. Fine. Now I will have to measure the distance between these two arcs. Is it coming? Yes. Hardly. Yes. Now I will come, keep the divider on this arc and make this arc. Fine. I hope it is visible to you all people, my dear students. Now I will copy this angle, means I will have to vertex, this is the vertex, this is the angle, and draw this. So now what happens, my dear students? So this is the angle, I have copied it over here. What happens is that now this line is exactly parallel to this line. When I have to draw a line parallel to this line at this point, it is always nice to copy this angle over here. Then I will get this line is parallel to this. Now because there is change of color, you must be feeling that they are not parallel, but they are parallel, my dear students. Okay, this is one way. That is the reason you should know copy angles. Copy angles is going to play a huge role. Even when you have to draw parallel lines, you will have to copy this angle over there. Then you will be actually drawing a line parallel to this over there. Okay, so this is copy angles. One figure we have completed, one more. These two are actually very, very, very important figures. Okay, once you have mastered these figures, now you have to understand what actually speaking this chapter is going to ask you to do. One type of questions are, I am just trying to show you the type of questions, you just understand this. I will be solving the exercise later in the next lecture. One is when actually they are asking you to divide a line segment in a given ratio. Like you have to draw a segment, divide a line segment in a ratio, means given ratio. A ratio is given to you. You have to draw, means supposing draw a segment 4.3 centimeters and divide it into the ratio 2:3. 2:3 in the sense, supposing this is the segment. Try to understand the question first. You have to draw the segment and you have to divide it into 2:3, means supposing if this is double, So this has to be 1 2 means exactly this whatever the size is, triple this size should be over here. But remember, not only that, it should be in this fashion, it is right. Whatever is this size, triple this size has to be over here. Then I can say this is 2:3. Actually what you should do, this is the result expected when you draw. But try to understand in a more basic level, segment is supposed to be drawn. At that time when you require it to be drawn, divided into 2:3, total sections needed will be this ratio plus this ratio, 5 sections. Means what you should do, you should make 5 sections of this. Supposing this is 1 2 3 4 5, it will come over here, okay, for the time being, because these are no more equal. And then this will be 2 and then this will be triple. See, 1 2 triple, like this it is. When you have to divide the segment into 2:3, then the sections totally made should be 5 sections, and then you can measure these two. This is the going to divide the, this section is going to divide the segment into 2:3. Similarly, if supposing I have got segment, I have to divide it in the section of 4:5. 4:5. Ratio should be 4:5. That means I should cut it in such a way that, now this is not, now I cannot say that 4 and 5 times. See here, 4 plus 5 9. I have to divide this into 9 sections. 9 sections. Supposing this is the condition, this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? Okay, these are 9 sections I have made. 4:5 means I have to go to 4. 1 2 3 4. This point is going to cut the segment into 4:5 ratio. This point will cut into 4:5 ratio. This is how. But then when I am explaining you, I am making sections and everything. So here also, supposing I am going to make this, draw a segment 4.3 centimeter divided into the ratio of 2:3. What am I supposed to do is that I am first supposed to draw the segment 4.3 centimeters long. Okay, this is 4.3 over here, 4.3 centimeter long. Now I will have to make sections, 5 sections, but it is not wise to show 5 sections over here. Not at all wise. So what I will do is that I will make one segment inclined at one angle. Okay. So supposing I take it as 45 degrees. Fine. 45 degree angle I take over here. This is a temporary angle, but definitely I have to take it considerably longer. I have to make 5, 3 plus 2, 5 sections on this, not on the segment. So I will take this as my divider. Now this is my 5 I require. 1 2, this can be of your wish. 3 4 5, it is up to your convenience. This is there, and now this 5th one will go and connect over here, and actually 2:3 na 1, this you will have to connect anyway. Why? Because now you will come to know why. Now this 1 2 because first one is 2, this 2 should be connected over here, but where are you going to connect it? You have to draw a line from this point. You have to draw a line parallel to this, what we had done in the previous one. See, this is your segment. I have to draw this angle, copy this angle over here, so automatically this will be parallel. So now this was my baseline. This is my terminal arm. So here also now this is going to be my baseline. the angle is over here. I have to copy this angle over here. So I will change the whole orientation and bring it according to somewhat my convenience. So this is my base arm. I have to copy this angle at 2. This is 2 over here, so that a line parallel to this line can be drawn at this point. Okay, now I will try to copy that angle over here. I will have to take it considerably longer one, make one arc over here, tiny arc, make another tiny arc over here. So similarly, this is the point, right? 1 2. I will make one tiny arc on the base and one arc anywhere over here. Fine. Now I have to copy the distance. You have to be very careful that whether your arcs are same, we are talking the same arc. So this is the distance. This is the distance. Fine. I have to copy this distance over here. This is my first arc. You have to be very careful. You can't miss your arc. Now this was my 1 and 2. I have to connect this over this intersecting arcs. This if I draw straight, these are parallel lines. Can you see? Yes, definitely they can be parallel. They are parallel. Now this is my arc which is divided the segment into 2:3. Okay, 2:3. So this will be my segment A, B, then this is my A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. This will be 2:3. AP, this is my P. I will write here AP upon PB is equal to 2/3. This is my ratio I have made. But now one more thing. What did I do so that I get this parallel? I copied this angle over here. This you should label so that it comes to the understand what have you tried to do. Because this is copied over here, so this has to be parallel to this, and that's why this is taken into consideration. A2, A3, A4, the 2, this is 2 and this is 3. So this same will come over here. Okay, my dear students. So this is how, this is one more basic that you have to understand, and one